Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at the Kentucky primary that's coming up this Tuesday, May 16th. I've looked at this race several times before, and I was hoping to have another poll come out before I made this video, but let's real quick take one more look at what's going to happen, and it's not just the governor that's going to be up for election, but that's really the only race anybody's talking about. So let's switch over to Wikipedia. We've been here many times before. Incumbent Democrat Andy Beshear is running for re-election to a second term. He's considered more of a conservative Democrat. He's the son of former two-term governor Steve Beshear, and he's the only elected statewide Democrat, along with his running mate Lieutenant Governor. So Beshear is going to be the nominee. He has a couple of token challengers. It's not going to matter. Beshear's the nominee. And given that it's such a red state, there's plenty of statewide elected Republicans. Of course, that means they're all going to want to take a swipe at Beshear, try to make it a clean sweep for Republicans statewide. So if you've been following this race at all, there's a lot of candidates, as you can see here. The main ones are Daniel Cameron. He's the Attorney General of Kentucky. Kelly Craft. She served a little bit as U.S. Ambassador to the UN under Donald Trump. Also on this list is Ryan Quarles, Kentucky Commissioner of Agriculture. So let's go down and take a little bit of a look at the endorsements. Daniel Cameron, he's got the Donald Trump endorsement. He got that a long time ago. Not many other endorsements on here, and it is just a primary, but that Trump endorsement might be enough to help Cameron. That is, of course, if voters are aware of it. Kelly Craft, she's got some endorsements of her own. She's got the Ted Cruz endorsement, if that means anything. And apparently she even has the Vivek Ramaswamy endorsement. So that's interesting. But also down here, Ryan Quarles, he has the most endorsements. Those are pretty much all from the state legislature. And if we go down a little bit further, here's the table of debates that they've had. And I was able to watch one of these debates, the third one on May 1st, that had the most number of participants. And the thing that stood out in that one was Eric Dieters. He's also running in this race. He was clearly the most outspoken, probably viewed as the most controversial and unelectable in the general election. But I think in a primary, that probably actually piqued a lot of the interest of some of these GOP voters. Aside from that, Daniel Cameron probably came off as better than Kelly Craft, and who cares what I think, but I didn't think Kelly Craft was really all that impressive. So that takes us down to the polling, and again, I was hoping for one more poll before I did this video. I'm sure one will drop right after this or on the weekend, but the most recent one we have here is from Emerson. It has Daniel Cameron at 30%, Kelly Craft is at 24%, Ryan Quarles is in third at 15%, and there's still 21% undecided. I imagine these percentages will have changed, given the attention that will be on the race as it approaches, so we do need to see some recent polling. I would guess Eric Dieters would probably go up from 6%, and maybe Daniel Cameron is going to pull ahead a little bit more, or maybe Ryan Quarles will overtake Kelly Craft for second place. We'll see what happens. But Daniel Cameron, he's been viewed as the frontrunner for a long time. I still think he is the frontrunner. He'll probably be the nominee unless there's some kind of an upset. So the general election, we could talk about that later on as it approaches. We've looked at this plenty of times before. Andy Beshear, he is popular. It's a red state, but in this one poll from Mason-Dixon back in January, his worst performance is a 9-point lead over Daniel Cameron, 49-40. It's going to be an uphill climb for the Republican. I don't want to go too in-depth on the general election at this point, but in 2019, Beshear, he only won by 5,000 votes. He did not get 50% of the vote, but as you see here, Beshear is the fifth most popular governor in the U.S. at a 63% approval rating. Now, anybody with that kind of an approval rating, it's almost a guarantee they'd win re-election. Now, there's a lot of months left. The Republicans are fixated on a primary right now, but even so, I still think Beshear is favored to win. But as always, we will see what happens. So also this Tuesday for the primary, Kentucky is having their other statewide elections, and you can get the list here. The highest profile will probably be Attorney General now that Daniel Cameron is running for governor, but there's also Secretary of State, Treasurer, and the list goes on here. So take a look at these if you'd like. If there's anything shocking that happens, I will be sure to mention it. And again, the general election, we'll look at that later on. The focus today is just on the primary, and almost all of it is on the Republican side for governor. It's going to be exciting to see what happens, so let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen in this Kentucky primary? Is it going to be Daniel Cameron? Is there a chance it's Kelly Craft? Could it be somebody else? Did you watch any of the debates, and how do you think that would affect this race? And if you'd like, you could talk about the general election. So let me know your thoughts down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.